Hey grade 7, welcome to another edition of Mr. V Teaches Math. Today we're going to start in on Unit 1. And Unit 1 is probably a lot of review stuff that we've done over the past little while in math over the past couple of years. So we're going to try to just go over some of those things together. Unit 1's kind of long, but we're going to get through this stuff together using the videos, and I hope that a lot of the stuff that we talk about sort of jogs your memory about stuff that you've already covered. So today, what we're going to be doing is looking at the first lesson, which is choosing a calculation method. And so the goals for today is to decide when an approximate or an exact answer is required, and to select and use the appropriate computational method from the following choices. And I'll explain those choices in just a few minutes. Now, what it says there in blue is that we often need to decide whether to give an exact answer or an approximate answer. I'm going to assume that we know the difference between an exact answer or an approximate answer. But once we decide whether you need an exact answer or an approximate answer, we basically need to choose a calculation method. And there are several methods to choose from, which I will share with you right now. So these are the sort of main calculation methods that we talk about in this book. We're not limited to those 5, but those are probably the 5 biggest ones. So the first one is estimating or making an educated guess. This one gives an approximate answer. It's good to be able to do this, to estimate or make an educated guess, because if we think back to yesterday's video about the problem-solving method, when we look back, it's important to be able to do an estimation in our heads to see if our answer, makes sense. So that's something like, in Caledonia there's the Day of 1,000 Canoes, and it's a race that starts at 11:30. Now it takes 40 minutes to walk from our place to the river, so we should probably leave around 10:45, right? That's an estimation. We're making an educated guess here. The second method that it's talked about is calculators, which give exact answers. They can help us estimate. So if you say something like, the camping trip will cost $785.75. There are 7 of us, so if we use our calculator, we can divide 785.75 divided by 7, which will mean that each of us owes $112.25. That's plain and simple, sort of. The third method, which is probably the one that we use the most in math, is paper and pencil. We write out the math, we practice it by writing it out and by organizing our information. And the paper and pencil method, probably in conjunction with the calculators, will help us to solve the answers. Okay? So something along the lines of, hey, there are 131 campsites. We have weeded 76 of them, so 131 minus 76 equals 55. And you can write that out on a pen and paper with pencil and paper, and figure out that the answer is 55. The fourth one there is mental math, and so this one sort of gets back to the estimating, making an educated guess. But for some calculations, you can just use mental math to work out your exact answers in your head. You can estimate mentally. So saying something like, there are 19 empty campsites and 24 cars at the gate, which means that 5 won't get in, right? Because 19 plus 5 is 24. It's pretty straightforward. The last one there, computer spreadsheets. A computer also gives exact answers. Oftentimes a computer can just be a big fancy calculator. And so it can often save time with calculations that need to be done over and over and over again. So if I don't know how many of you make budgets, but you can use a computer spreadsheet to help you make a budget, and so that you know how much money you have available every month. And so these are the 5 main calculation methods that we use in this book and during the year. And that's it for tonight. Hope you guys have a great night. Talk to you